Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Matrix Cinema. I'm your host, Dimitri. And today we're going to talk about the 2026 upcoming Street Fighter film, which is due in October, I think it's October 18th, October 16th. So it'll be coming out, and we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to tell you my personal opinion on it. So let's start right into it. First of all, 1993, um, the Strider Street Fighter, Ryu and Ken Masters are thrown back into combat with mysterious Chang Li recruits them for the next World Warrior tournament. Ooh, a brutal clash of the Titans, Fists of Fate, and Fury. But behind the battle royale lies a deadly conspiracy that forces them to face off against each other and the demons of the past. And they don't. If they don't, it's game over. Just like the game. Okay. So start off. Let's see what we got. So you got first of all, I'm gonna say Noah Centennial before I even get started off. Noah Centennial, if I'm saying his name correctly. He was supposed to be He-Man in the Masters Universe film that was going to Netflix before Netflix passed up on the film or got rid of it, the project, and Amazon picked it up, and then of course Nicholas got a scene and all that. It was history after that. But Noah Centennial, I think I'm saying his name right. He was supposed to have been He-Man, but he's playing Ken Masters, Ken, from Street in the new upcoming Street Fighter film. He's been in all of the boys. Um, he's been in Black Adam, uh, boys, boys the love before and the sequels. The perfect date. Um, Sierra Burgess um, is a loser. Charlie's Angels 2019. They made like a one, two, and three of that one. I don't know if you guys seen that. And yeah, those are the films. Some of the films he's been in. Then you got Andrew Kohaji. He plays Ryu. He's been in Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe spinoff, Bullet Train. I remember him in that. He was actually pretty good in that. Boy Kills World and Luck. Um, it was all right. That movie wasn't one of my favorites, but you know. And then you got Jason Momoa who plays Blanca. Everybody, we all know Jason Momoa. Aquaman, of course. You know, a lot of women love Jason Momoa and Aquaman. He's in the new Lobo movie, Lobo Supergirl. He's in Justice League, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, Doom, Fast X, of course. The new the Fast X, and then they got Fast. I think it's 10. I think coming out or whatever. It was supposed to be the final one, and he's the bad guy, of course. When they're bringing the Rock back in that. The Bad Batch, and of course Conan. I remember him from Conan the Barbarian, 2011 film. I remember him in that. He did pretty good in that the remake of that. Then you got David Dash Malchian, who plays General Bison. This get interesting. You know, he's been the Dark Knight, Ant Man, and the Wasp, Suicide Squad, uh, Dune. He was in Dune also. Um, Oppenheimer, or whatever. Never seen that one before. Um, Late Night with the Devil, The Boogeyman, I didn't like that when I saw that one. I think they made like 1, 2, maybe 3 of those or whatever. They all were corny. We didn't like it. Sorry. Then we got my boy 50 Cent Curtis Jackson. He did the films, the TV show Power. He was in Get Rich or Die Trying. Um, Escape Plan. That's with him and Sylvester Stallone when he was played a computer tech. I do work on computers. That he played the computer tech, so he was a computer tech. The Expendables, Den of Thieves. I liked him in that. I thought he did really good in that. I liked the movie. I think he helped produce it. I think. And Spy. Southpaw. He was in that also. Then you got Eric Andre, who plays Don Savage, The Lion King 2019. I guess he did the voices, one of the voices in that. Then you got Bad. He was in Bad Trip. Trolls Band Together. Sing 2. Sounds like a musical. The Mitchells versus the Machines. Okay, interesting. Kalina Lang, who plays Chung Lee. That's my girl. Tell Me Everything, and The Rebel. So she wasn't in that many films or whatever. So she's upcoming. So she's putting her foot out there, trying to get her feet wet into the film industry, whatever. So I think she's going to do pretty good for Chung Lee, personally. Joe Roman Reigns. I'm a big wrestling fan, WWE fan, but old school WWE, WWF, or whatever. So all the new wrestlers, I'm not too much into it because I don't watch it like I used to. But I know who Roman Reigns is. He's cousin of The Rock. Let's see. He was in Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, where he played The Rock's brother. The Rock's family or whatever. When he went back to The Rock's Island, where his family was at, his ground or whatever, and they was doing like the little Samoan dance and all that. I remember him in that movie. Didn't have much parts, but this is a way to put his feet in the water. The Wrong Missy. Didn't see that one before, but yeah, shocked he got another movie in it under his belt. Cody Rhodes plays Guile. He's another WWE star. Scooby Doo. He was in Scooby Doo in the WWE Curse of the Speed Demon. He did the voice. Andrew Schultz, who plays Dan Hikabiki. He was in You the People, The Underdogs, White Man Can't Jump, the 2023 film. I didn't like that one. And yeah. So that's pretty much what's going on with that or whatever, as far as the cast or whatever. So like I said, the movie takes place. There's a Bison's General Bison is running a underground organized crime session going on, and while he's doing that, he has a fight, like a tournament that's going on. So behind closed doors, he's running the organized underground crime thing going on. He's kind of like the Penguin. You know how the Penguins got organized crime behind the whole mayor thing, but he's running for mayor, so everybody they're fooled by it because they don't know who he really is. You know what I'm saying? So, but Batman knows, eventually finds out who he is, Hufflepuff, and he's even in the TV show, he's this big time. He's got a lot of weight because he's got people think he's really important. So he's part mayor. So Bison's kind of like, General Bison. He was in the war, all this stuff going on, but behind that, he's evil. He's a big criminal mind. He's uh general, and he's actually was I think he was either best friends with Blanca before he became Blanca, or that was Guile. Can't put my hand on it. I can't remember exactly which one of them. One of them were friends with Blanca before Blanca was experiment, but Guile ran the experiment. I mean, not Guile. Bison ran the experiment on Blanca, um, and turned him to what he is. It's a lot of stuff going on. If you've seen the trailer looks pretty good. I like the get into the lightning of the movie, like the special effects, the whole light and the coloring. Kind of it reminds me of it's like a it's sort of like uh it's it's like a it's like a comic book movie that's coming into place, but not as detailed as the other special effects. So like, the with the coloring and stuff like that, it brings you back like the Batman films, the not the Tim Burton ones, not one and two, Batman 3, Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. You seen all that color and lightning into the movie with for Gotham City, and it brings that kind of feel to it. So it's kind of, you're looking at it like you like, okay, you can see where they're bringing it in. A lot of night scenes. It's kind of like, the whole pattern of it is nice. It's beautiful. The only difference is it ain't gonna be as bad as Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, in my opinion. But it's bringing like that feel to it, but a better plot, a better story, and it's whole video game thing going on. So they bringing a lot of things to the film too that was in the video game. Like you got the one, um, you got a scene where Ken's kicking the car up before the tournament, before the fight scene happens. In that video game, I think he beats up a car with his leg and kicks the car door open, and it's a lot of things that they bring into the table that's in a video game. So a lot of these video game movies that these video games that they're bringing out as movies, whether they did in the past and redoing it or whatever. Same way with the comic books and the storylines, they're trying to make it exactly like the stories were. So you're going to see them trying to be true to the story in the video games. Mortal Kombat 2, they're trying to be true to the video game and the story. They updating the video game storyline according to the video games, the newer video games that are out, like Mortal Kombat 11, Mortal Kombat 1. So the storyline is lined up with that, where towards the 1995 storyline of Mortal Kombat was lined up to the 1992, 93, whenever the game came out, whatever. Is another fact for Mortal Kombat. A lot of y'all don't know that they got the story from Enter the Dragon. That was an idea from that. So keep that in mind. But yeah, so yeah, it's the film is gonna represent a lot with the game or whatever. So I see it doing a lot good, and I'm figuring with all the wherever it takes place at, far as like some in Atlanta, some in San Diego. I think they did some of it in Europe. You know, the landmarks they're doing or whatever. It's gonna work out pretty good. Uh, just Ryu and Ken reuniting. They had a pass, and Chung Lee's going around recruiting. She's Bison's recruiter, so she's trying to bring everybody together for this tournament, this big tournament. And Ken and Ryu is going to be a project itself to get them two back because they used to be really close friends. But then when their come together, they get in a not a big fight, but it's a comical fight between them two because Ken feels like Ryu let him down and kind of turned his back on him, and Ryu was kind of like, look, this is silly, you know what I mean? Like I can still beat you. Your martial arts is still not as good. You need to work on yourself or whatever because Ken's like doing a lot of MTV things going on. He's getting drunk and he's kind of like, you know, trying to find himself back or whatever. And this tournament is going to help him, you know, as they go along. So the film's got a lot of things in there. It's got a lot of read between the line stuff going on, but I think it's going to be a lot better than that past movie they had, which we all accepted, just like we accepted the old Master Universe in the '80s. We all accept the old Street Fighter, but this one is supposed to be a lot better, and it's going to be a lot better. I feel like it's going to be a lot better than the Street Fighter Legend of Chung Li. I didn't wasn't feeling that one too much. Try to tell the whole story of Chung Li and her whole thing behind it or whatever. So it's the film is I felt like it's going to be. I think it'll be pretty good. I don't think it's going to overdo itself, and I don't think they're putting too much into it. I think they're going to go with the flow on it. They're going to make it fun, funny, excitement. You know, just an all around good movie. But it's coming out into October, not you know with these other movies piling on top of each other coming out this summer. So that's a good thing too. Separated from Mortal Kombat. They weren't going to compete with each other coming out in the same month, and But go see it October 16th. Hit theaters and tell me what you think. My next stream, I'm going to talk about Master Universe again and bash Mortal Kombat. I got one about Mortal Kombat 2. I didn't. You want to get my whole intake on that, but Street Fighter 2026. Go see it. Noah Centineo is playing Ken, and I think this will be a pretty good movie. So, and thank you guys for joining. I'll see you next time, and everybody have a good weekend.